So how long have you been working for this company?
Well, I'm not real sure, but it seems like I've been here since Moby Dick was a minute.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to Cajun Livin.
Today, we just want to stop and say thanks and let y'all know how much we appreciate y'all for achieving this wonderful goal that we have finally achieved.
We hit 100,000 subscribers in less than 2 years of being on YouTube, and we could not thank y'all more. So today what we're going to do is go through some of our favorite memories, some of our worst memories, and just everything that we've gone through to get to this point in our house build.
You mean like only the good stuff, right?
What's the fun in that?
What we're going to be doing today is we're going to backtrack a little bit, and we've been stockpiling some questions that's been asked to us throughout this whole thing, and some of them has really stuck out to us. So we're going to spend a little bit of time and we're going to address those questions and kind of go through this whole thing play by play.
What's one word to describe yourself?
Lucky. That's the only word that I can come up with, because it seems like every challenge we're faced with, somehow we work through it. And I know there's no skill involved, so I'm lucky.
I would say determined, because everything that we've had to learn on this house build, we've absolutely made it look easy, but there's been some really difficult things that you just have to really have your mind wrapped around before you can fully be able to be successful at a lot of these things.
Well, you know, most of the time when people talk about building a house, it's a crew of people, it's a huge project, and they can get it done in a comfortable amount of time. But I can tell you that determined word that she is using is 100% real, because with just the two of us, there has been times to where we have been pushing so hard to get the work done that our bodies have simply failed us. Like physically trying to push something that we could normally push in place to get nailed or whatever, and our bodies just wouldn't let us do it. It's amazing, really. So the next question is what was your initial thoughts whenever you first realized that you wanted to start this YouTube channel and start building this house?
Sitting at the river one day, Jim brings it up to me and says, "Hey, well, you want to try out YouTube?" And I thought you had lost your mind. My first reaction was absolutely not. We're not doing this. There's no way. We don't have the time. We wanted to get our house built. That was the last thing on my mind, was to video everything. And now looking back, there's absolutely no way that we'd be where we are today without the community that we have made through YouTube, and also being able to look back at all those memories. Not only for ourselves is this going to be amazing to have for the rest of our lives, but also for Ladley. People leave comments all the time talking about how amazing it is that her parents built this house for her, but the whole time everybody's got to watch her grow up as well, and that truly is something to cherish for us.
And my thoughts was simply, let's do it. I mean, what do we have to lose? The worst thing that could possibly happen is that we could fail. And you never know what you're capable of unless you're willing to fail.
In your opinion, what has been the hardest part of this build so far? Because I guarantee you it's the same one that I'm thinking.
That's an easy one.
On three, see if it's the same.
All right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Rafters.
Hey, these rafters, they were so long and so heavy. And honestly, we did not have all the equipment that we should probably have had to hang these things. That was misery. We pushed our bodies way past the limit. We even had some help for a couple days here, there, and yonder with people helping, chipping in to try to give us a little bit of a breather. But I'm telling you, when those rafters were done, we were both spent. We were done.
Today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is way more convenient than grocery shopping, but did you know that it's actually cheaper too? It's also 25% less expensive than takeout. No hassle of driving either, since they ship right to your door. For us, we're always looking for a quick solution for dinner. Using the quick and easy recipes from the HelloFresh menu that include fast and fresh options, we can have dinner ready in 15 minutes or less. This is absolutely one of our favorite parts about HelloFresh. With our busy schedules, we are always looking for a quick meal, lunch, or supper, and HelloFresh provides that for us. This summer, HelloFresh is here to take the work out of eating well. You can reach your goals with delicious calorie smart and protein smart lunch and dinner options, plus new vegan recipes as well. HelloFresh has new snacks, meals, and more to add to your weekly order, like their s'mores bundles for kids. Go to HelloFresh.com and use code Cajun16 at checkout for 16 free meals, plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com, code Cajun16 to get 16 meals free with free delivery. Thank you HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Whenever it came time to build the rafters as well, it was a very strenuous thing because we ended up having to have it was like 70 or 72 of them. I think it was 72 in total. And every single one of them had to have all these things cut into them. And that was just miserable because it was raining all week, the entire time that I was supposed to be doing this. And we knew that we had to get it done. So of course we had to work in the rain. And the whole process from start to finish was just rough with the rafters for sure.
It was really tough. So what was the first new skill that you learned whenever you started building this house?
I'm kind of embarrassed.
Was it sharpen a carpenter pencil?
It was not, but it was close. Like whenever I'd read a tape measure before, I would read it like a fourth, not like a quarter. So I'd say, an inch and a fourth, not an inch and a quarter. So reading that properly is probably the number one thing. And if that does not humble you, let me tell you something. Coming from the girl that knows how to use any piece of equipment that we have now.
Yeah, it's an inch and a fourth and one little dime, whatever that is.
How many times did you hear that?
A bunch, but hey, it worked. As far as myself, it was figuring up how to cut these rafters and get them right. Now look, I don't know how many of you do it, and hats off to you carpenters out there that do this and don't even think a thing about it. But it's just something about there's so many angles that has to tie in because of another angle that has an angle cut to set on something, and it all has to marry together to make one big system. Lord, and that's probably where a lot of our strenuous stuff came from, because we'd have to cut one and then haul it upstairs and then test fit it, make sure that it was going to fit right till we had our sample piece perfect. When we had our sample piece perfect, we kind of cheated and made all the rest of them with that sample piece.
And whenever he says upstairs, he means balancing on a 2x4, so yeah, that's upstairs.
It looked like an elephant on a beach ball. It was not pretty.
I look more like a cat. You remember that squirrel?
Oh, that squirrel. Hey, that dude was crazy. He just laid up there. He didn't care about nothing.
I'll lighten it up real quick for you. What's the most unusual thing that you've ever ate?
That's kind of a broad question. What is the strangest thing that I've ever ate here? Or period?
Well, how many strange things have you ate?
Way too many to count.
And mine would probably be snails.
Yeah.
They taste about just like they look.
I kind of liked them, to tell you the truth. I'd probably say beaver. Beaver is probably the wildest thing that I've ever ate. Okay, so I'll tell you the quick story on that. We had some people move locally from California, and they were asking if there were any beaver here. Well, some people in the family were trapping at the time. Somebody caught a beaver. They wanted the liver, so apparently beaver liver is a delicacy. Who'd have thunk it, you know? But anyway, after said beaver liver was delivered, we got to look at this thing and be like, hey, this looks like deer meat. It's got to be good. And you know us Cajuns, we don't cull much.
No, they have Christmas coon. Next question. Do you play any instruments?
You get a line and I'll get a pole. So which project turned out better than you ever could have imagined?
Cabinets. 100% hands down the cabinets.
I'll have to agree.
That or the alligator textured dry pour slab. I knew that was going to work out, but that's just one of those things that it was way better than I could have ever imagined. It looks so stinking good.
It did really turn out nice, and especially putting it for the entrance of her porch. We look at it every day, and she's right. That thing turned out so good.
Would you change anything about the house? Now, y'all keep in mind that everything that we've done in this house, we've built off of an Excel spreadsheet. Before, it was just drawn out on a piece of paper. Everything that we've done and figured plan-wise, we've done all of ourselves.
I like everything about our house. You know, and it fits us perfectly. Our concept, our vision, everything actually came together, in my opinion, exactly how I would have wanted it. What about you?
I would still like to put a slide upstairs to go downstairs.
A slide, she says. Here's a spoiler alert. I just wanted to tell y'all. I came up with a design for an elevator to go to the loft, and the elevator got shut down. Now, I drew this thing out into extreme detail with a shift system, the drive, the gearbox, the voltage regulator that would run this whole thing. Everything spec'd out like down to the science. And Lydia like vetoed it in a second. After I brought all this to her, she wouldn't even hear my case. I'm like, how cool would that be? An elevator in our house. An elevator that we built in our own house. And she's like,
I did okay it in the shed.
Elevators in a shop just isn't very cool. You know, if it's in
An
your house,
elevator in general in a home place is cool.
y'all jump on here with me. I mean, how many cool points would you get if you walked into somebody's house and they had an elevator in their house? I just think that'd be the coolest thing ever. So the next question is, if you had to rebuild again, is there any particular task that you would hire out rather than do yourself?
Rafters. I really don't think that there is. Only for the simple fact of, if you want it done right, do it yourself. And I truly believe that. I know there's people that could come here and do things a lot better than the way that we could, but those imperfections that we have in the house, I believe, makes our house what it is. So, just the rafters. That's my answer.
We did have the spray foam insulation. We hired somebody to come in and do that. And really the cost versus the learning curve and us renting the equipment and doing it ourselves, I really think that was a smart choice for us to do, just because the cost came out almost a wash. Now, I will tell you one thing. If you buy a house, there's nothing wrong with that. If someone builds you a home, there's nothing wrong with that either. But I will have to say that there is a sense of satisfaction knowing if you dig back into your memory bank, you remember every screw, nut, bolt, nail. You remember how everything was put together. And there's been times that we built something and put it together and it didn't turn out right, and we didn't feel comfortable to leave it in there because we're living in this house and we wanted it perfect and we wanted it super strong and super stable. So we would take it out and redo it till we got it how we wanted, and then we felt comfortable with it.
What's one thing on your bucket list?
To live long enough to have a bucket list. One of the main things on my bucket list is I would really, really love to go visit Australia. Ever since I was a child, it has just always intrigued me watching, some kind of television program about Australia, all the animals, just the landscape is so diverse from one side to the other. It's crazy. And that's always appealed to me. I'd really like to go visit there one day. What about yours?
Mine's done. I already checked everything off my bucket list.
You must have a little bucket.
I've already been skydiving, already rode the bull. What's that Tim McGraw song? I ain't been Rocky Mountain climbing, so I guess we can add that to the bucket list.
If you were faced with the decision that you had to build tomorrow or hire someone to do it, would you build?
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. It's been one of the hardest things, physically, mentally, stress level through the roof, from sourcing materials that you can't find, but you have no choice but to find them. The physical strain, everything about it none of it has been easy, but every last task has been worth it.
The reward and satisfaction that you get from truly walking in and opening that door that you put in, that floor that you put in, every single last thing is so rewarding. And it's easy to get sidetracked from that, but truly, if you just stop and look around while you're in there, you think about how many accomplishments we've had. We have a lot left ahead of us, and we have a lot of hard work that we still need to get done. But if you look back on what we've done, that makes the future look like a breeze. In honor of us hitting 100,000 subscribers, we want to share with y'all a page that we believe should be at 100,000 subscribers as well. Today we encourage y'all to not subscribe to us, but to go subscribe to Life of Pines. Jenna and Teddy are absolutely willing to take on any project, and we have absolutely loved getting to know them through the YouTube community. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description if you need any help getting over to their channel. And y'all don't forget, today at noon, the Cajun Country Livin' Captain Croc shirts went live. There is only limited stock, so y'all make sure to head over to our merchandise page. That's going to be linked in the description as well. Well, Cajun family, we'll see you on Wednesday.